back, folks. I got a very strange request. Not something you get every day. I've been asked to move an excavator for someone. Long story short, I don't have a ton of details, but the guy who he borrowed it from does not have time to come pick it back up, but I guess he's not charging him to like rent it. He just let him borrow it for free. I don't know. It's a mini excavator. It's 7,000 pounds. I got a trailer that's rated for it. I don't really care. I'm going to do it. So anyway, we're going to get there. I will get a little time lapse of us loading up, and we'll go from there. Stay tuned. So we're back. We've got the excavator in tow, if you can see through the back window there. She's about 700 pounds plus trailer weight. This is a 11,000 pound load, which is, you know, good solid load for a gas F250, but nothing too crazy. So we'll see how she does. We're going nice and slow here. We could definitely go faster, but we got to take a turn about half a mile anyway. But yeah, all good so far. Stay tuned. Look at her back there being all excavator-like. She's so pretty. She working the old 7 tree a little bit there, brother. Not too bad, but it's a pretty steep hill actually. We're going slow, taking her easy. All right, we got a good size hill here. We'll see how she does. Probably gonna need one more gear. Oh, maybe not. Jeez, this thing just holds. Only going about 44, but no problem for the 7.3. Man, that low end torque on this thing is just amazing. I'm just like still, even though I've towed with this so many times, I say to myself, like, God, I'm gonna have to grab another gear, but it just kind of lugs its way up the hills. It's awesome. I'm purposely in eco mode, by the way, because I watched a YouTube video and the guy mentioned that he actually likes the way it tows in eco mode and the fuel economy's better, and I just wanted to try it. I figure I'll keep an eye on the trans temp and just see how that goes, and in case it really runs super hot, we'll do something different. But here's a hill, folks. One more. That 3,000 RPM mark, it really starts to pick up, gets up on the chip at 3,000 RPM. You can pull a lot in two, but you know, in the twos, but it really pulls a heck of a lot in the threes, which is pretty darn cool. So that trans temp does work its way up a little bit, and that's not crazy. These things run warm. You just have to accept the fact that these modern transmissions, they run at coolant temp plus 10, 15, even 20 degrees. It's just how they are. I don't know why, but you think that they wouldn't want to do that, but the new fluids, I guess, are better. I don't know. All right, we're doing another little hill climb. I did shift it into tow haul this time just because the transmission was getting a little warmer and I wanted to just kind of do half the trip in eco, half the trip in tow haul, so that's what we're doing. Tow haul is better for this slower speed around town type stuff. I can see where eco might be nice on the highway or just like straight, flat interstate or state route roads, because it just keeps you from gear hunting as much maybe. But for these big hills, when you're going uphill and then downhill, it's nice to have the grade braking kind of already ready to go to hold your speeds, especially when you got a little bit heavier load like this on you. So, well, I've never watched the trans temp too closely when I'm towing. I mean, I keep an eye on it, make sure it's not going out of this world, but I've noticed that it seems like it hits about 220, 225, and then it just cools right back down to like 208. It's like cyclical, as if it opens that thermostat more and says to itself, all right, cool yourself down, cool yourself down. I've kind of noticed that. In 5 minutes, it'll be back down to 208 kind of thing. So, kind of interesting. But this is very normal trans temps for these. Be real careful loading this because this is an aluminum trailer and it's rated for the weight. We actually called the manufacturer and they say it's no problem, being that it's a, you know, excavator and stuff like that with a short wheelbase, if you will. But it just still, when you're loading it, there's a ton of weight on the ramps and the tail section of the trailer. So we wound up backing it up to the hill and just loaded it on that way, and that worked out pretty good. When we go to unload it, I think we're gonna use the ramps and I'll block them up, so we'll make sure that they're you know, safe to make sure we just don't bend anything. This is not really an equipment trailer, it's more of a car trailer, so we just want to load it carefully and not load it as if it were a car, just willy-nilly throw it up there, because it's a very different loading scenario. All right guys, we are fully unloaded. I didn't get any shots of that just because I was on a guy I don't know's property, and I didn't want to do that. But we are fully unloaded, and everything towed well. Trans temps stayed where they needed to be. Like I said, it did multiple times after I took that video. Just fluttered between 208 and 220. So that seems to be where it opens the solenoid for the thermostat or something. I guess it's not, maybe it's not temperature controlled like a spring, like a, coolant is. I don't know. But anyway, that's what it seemed to do. Maybe it's just the computer giving you fake numbers for all I know. But everything drove good. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less. It's a freaking 2500 series truck towing 10,000 pounds. It should be able to do it. But he said it was about 9, the loader, the excavator itself. Google said it was about 7,700. So it looked and felt to me like it was in the 8 to 9 range. Plus we have a lot of crap on the trailer. So, it was really more of like an 11,000 pound load. Because the trailer is like probably 3 with all the stuff we have on it. So, my toolbox lid is open, so we're gonna fix that real quick. The toolbox on the trailer's lid popped open, but all the stuff on the trailer, plus the excavator, whatever. Call it 10, 11,000, close enough. But towed well. So, loading it up, something to note here. We backed up to the hill, and I threw jack stands underneath the tail section of the trailer, just because this is a car trailer and not really an equipment trailer. So that's like centralized load of an excavator is really, hard on a trailer like that unless you support the tail section of it properly. I mean, any equipment trailer has the tail section supported, so you just want to mimic that if you're going to use a car trailer a little bit outside its use case. And I blocked the ramps up so that they wouldn't, bend. And I don't know if they would have. The ramps probably are rated for the weight, but when it made some of the transitions, you never know. So just to be on the safe side, we were all good. So anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching. God bless America, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.